What up, you guys? This is Steven, and I'm back with another news article analysis. This time I'll be analyzing an article from AramaJapan.com entitled Ayumi Hamasaki to release new classical album featuring a new Tatsuya Komuro song. Alright, so at this point right here, just from the title of the article, I'm like, Ayumi's releasing yet another album this year? Hmm. Yeah, I got some thoughts about that and some opinions. But I'm going to read this article. It's really short, so I'm going to give my thoughts and opinions as I go and after I finish. So here I go. This year saw Ayumi Hamasaki release a new album, A1 Sauce, and a new mini album, Six, and that's six spelled with six X's. So, Ayumi, I don't know. I guess she's trying to get into the Illuminati now. Maybe. I don't know. To end 2015, she's releasing classical versions of some of the songs from these releases on a new album titled, quote unquote, Winter Diary, A7 Classical. So, y'all, she's releasing the classical album. Um, to be honest, I don't really check for Ayumi's classical stuff. Not that it's not good, I just don't check for it. However, I do like I have listened to at least one of her classical songs. Well, I'll probably say one. Classical version Game, for the song Game, the classical version of Game. And I did enjoy it. However, her vocals didn't seem really classical because really they just took the same vocals from the original version of Game and put them on top of some classical music. And the thing is, like, normally that would work, but her vocals were so um, altered and auto-tuned and so many effects on her voice for that particular song that it kind of was like, okay, this is classical, but how come it seemed like your voice is like EDM? Even though the song Game is not an EDM song, but it has that feel with the vocals, like really distorted vocals, auto-tuned vocals, like really kind of like a weird effect. If you listen to the song Game, you'll know what I'm talking about. And if you listen to the classical version, you'll know again what I'm talking about. But again, I do like the classical version of Game, but I just thought that was a bit odd that the vocals were not reflective of classical. So I guess that she didn't take the time to re-record the vocals or either just remove the effects that they put on her vocals, her people. Anywho, another story for another day. Let's stick to this story. All right. Um, the album will feature violinist Okabe Machi on three songs: Warning, No Future, and The Show Must Go On. Alright, so these are songs that appeared on Ayumi's album A1 Sauce. So, this, I'm assuming this guy is a, like, super popular violinist when it comes to, that world, the violinist world, the classical music world. I'm assuming he's popular since they're giving him a shout out in this article. Let's see. Winter Diary A7 Classical will also feature a new song produced by Tatsuya Komuro. The song is called Winter Diary, and it is a sequel to her song Summer Diary from Six. That's her mini album. And let's see, here is the track list for this upcoming classical album here. Here we go. It's about 11 tracks in total. All right, got Warning, Step by Step, Sorrows, Last Minute, Summer Diary, Sky High, No Future, Out of Control, The Gift, The Show Must Go On, and a new track, totally new track, called Winter Diary. All right, so that's pretty much the end of the article. All right, I read the comment section that pertains to this article, that coincides with this article. And a lot of people were not feeling this release. And, it's not so much that they don't like Ayumi Hamasaki, but they just feel like, why release this release when your previous releases have not been so successful? That her album A1 Sauce, like, it only sold about 52,000 copies, and her album 6 sold probably around that amount or less. You know, and also I think that she has actually released the classical album this year. You might correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was like Love Classics, I think. So I'm like, why are you releasing another classical album in the same year? And as well, people aren't really checking for your releases like they used to. I feel like Ayumi and her team are on autopilot right now. They're using the her marketing strategies from like 2005, like 10 years ago. But it's 2015. People ain't checking for Ayumi like they were checking for her in 2005. You know, in my personal opinion, I do think that Ayumi releases too much material anyways. But back when she was like super duper popular, she could get away with that. You know, I was like, hey, someone gonna buy it, put it up for sale. Even though I do think that's sort of abusing your fan base, in my opinion. But okay, someone was checking for it and someone bought it. But this time around, I'm like, people ain't really checking for your 100% original material releases. Why are they gonna be checking for your remix material? Who checking for that besides your core fan base? And also her sales figures from her classical album Love Classics, that was released this year, I assume. Well, I believe. I think it was released this year. I'm pretty sure, based on my sources. But yeah, those sales figures were a little less than 10,000 copies. You know, so I'm thinking, like, is this release financially worth it for Ayumi Hamasaki and Avex? Like, you know, and some people were like, why not just release a single? And I'm thinking that too, like, why not just release a single? Even though she did that last year and it didn't really amount to that much. But still, I think that would probably be a better avenue. But then again, like right now, because of the Christmas season, the holiday season, I'm pretty sure competition is stiff when it comes to artists releasing their material, because everyone, people are in the buying mood this time of year, definitely. So a lot of artists are releasing their CDs and singles around this time because people are in the buying mood. So like, hey, buy this CD. However, I'm not sure if Ayumi at this moment can compete with such stiff competition, since so many people are releasing albums and singles, and material basically. I'm not sure if Ayumi can really compete with that. Even though people are in the buying mood, I'm not sure if they're in the buying mood to buy Ayumi Hamasaki. And as well, I don't think Ayumi currently lives in Japan, and I think some fans might have some resentment over that. Her going out to America and marrying a non-Japanese man who is not really of any status in particular, you know. And don't get me wrong, um, you guys, and as well, especially the Ayumites. I actually do like Ayumi Hamasaki, and kind of even look forward to like a lot of her releases. Like, hey, I want to see the music video for Ayumi Hamasaki because she always coming with it with her music videos. Usually. um, but I just feel like Ayumi and her team really need to just, have a meeting, a very long meeting, and sit down and see what they can do. Ayumi, you know, luckily and thankfully for her, Ayumi, she's in a good place. It may not seem like she's in a good place, but ultimately she is, because Ayumi has a really strong legacy to fall back on here. Like, really, if Ayumi doesn't release any material at all, not one CD, not one single, not one digital download, if she doesn't release anything from this point forward and just retires from the music industry, her legacy will still be intact. You know, like I don't see her legacy being easily washed away, because she has made such an imprint on, Japanese music. You know, some people are in struggle mode right now, and they don't have such a strong legacy to fall back on. Thankfully, Ayumi does. And for me, I don't think that Ayumi should retire or anything like that just yet. However, I just think her and her team really need to sit down and hash out like a really strong marketing strategy, you know? And also, like, Ayumi recently quit Twitter. Well, graduated from Twitter. And I'm like, is that going to help Ayumi or hurt Ayumi? I think in a way it'll help Ayumi because she won't be able to put, her personal business on Twitter like she did, and, cause people to be like, whoa, what's happening here? But on the other hand, I think that's part of Ayumi's, like, marketing, being, personable, being relatable, having a story and wanting to share it with people, And I think that it was part of the reason maybe why Ayumi did go on Twitter, because Ayumi is often, she puts a lot of herself into her music and wants to probably share a lot of her struggles with people so that maybe she can help the next person. But I guess I'm kind of getting off topic here, because that would be another video for another day as well. But let me bring this video to a close. But I'll jump back right quick. Yeah. As far as the social media thing goes, I guess Ayumi can take a break from it. I kind of thought at this point Ayumi would be a sort of a little wiser to know not to put so much of your personal business out for, consumption, like media consumption. But I guess not so much. And as far as this classical album goes, I just think that probably a single would have been better. But then again, maybe she didn't feel like filming a music video to support the single. So I don't really see this album doing very well on the Oricon music charts. Because I don't, like, none of these songs were even hit songs. I just foresee Ayumi's, like, super duper hardcore fans, her stans. Like, I really see them just being the only ones to really support this, Really, and probably, like, how many copies does she expect to sell of this CD? I hope they ain't put a lot of money into this CD. It don't seem like it, Probably just paid a couple of classical musicians, like a couple of bucks to put something together, and then put her vocals on top of it that she already recorded before anyway. So it's not like Ayumi's really doing much for this particular release, So yeah, I guess there you have it. Feel free to comment, you guys. Feel free to subscribe. Feel free to give me a thumbs up. Your feedback and support are extremely appreciated and extremely valued. Until the next news article analysis, adios and goodbye for now.